The Cursed Treasure. Doran was a poor merchant who spent his days envying the wealthy traders in town. One evening, after another day of struggling to make ends meet, he collapsed onto the temple steps and whispered a desperate prayer. "If only I had endless gold, I would never know hardship again." A beggar sitting nearby overheard him. "Endless gold, you say?" The old man's voice was soft yet piercing. He held out a single, dull gold coin. "Take this. Every night it will double, but beware, gold is loyal to no master." Doran took the coin, skeptical but curious. That night, he placed it on his table. By morning, there were 2. The next night, 4. Then 8. The growth was relentless. Soon his pockets overflowed, and his modest home could no longer contain the ever-multiplying wealth. Gold spilled into every corner, storerooms bursting at the seams. As his fortune swelled, so did his ambitions. He built a grand mansion to house his endless riches. Within months, his courtyards gleamed under towering piles of coins, and the sheer weight of his hoard collapsed the floors of his storerooms. At first, Doran rejoiced. He bought land, hired servants, and hosted lavish feasts. But as his wealth grew, so did his hunger for more. No longer satisfied with simply enjoying his fortune, he became obsessed with protecting and increasing it. He hired guards, built hidden vaults, and stopped spending, fearful that any coin spent was a coin lost. Then came the whispers. Thieves began to circle his estate. One night, a group of men tried to break into his treasury. Doran caught them and, in his growing paranoia, had them punished severely. But fear gnawed at him. What if his own men turned on him? What if his most trusted servants were waiting for the right moment to betray him? Doubt festered in his mind. One by one, he dismissed his staff. The once lively halls of his mansion became empty and silent. Even his lavish feasts ceased. Who could he trust enough to dine with? He locked himself inside his golden fortress, alone. To protect his treasure, Doran fortified his mansion with iron gates, hidden vaults, and deadly traps. He spent hours walking through his golden halls, checking every lock, every corridor, ensuring his wealth remained untouched. The gold should have brought him security, yet he felt more exposed than ever. Then came the nightmares. He dreamt of drowning in gold, the weight of it pressing down on him, stealing his breath. He saw shadowy figures slinking through the halls, whispering, laughing, reaching for his fortune. He would wake, drenched in sweat, sword in hand, only to find the halls empty. And yet every night the gold continued to grow. His once grand halls drowned in gold, forcing him to navigate through narrow paths. The sheer mass of it crushed furniture, blocked doorways, and buried entire rooms. His palace was no longer a home. It was a tomb of his own making. One day, standing before his mountains of gold, Doran finally understood. He had everything he had ever wished for, yet he had nothing. No friends, no family, no joy, only fear. Only then did he realize he was not free. He was a prisoner. Desperate, he remembered the beggar, the one who had given him the cursed coin. Clinging to what little sanity remained, he searched for the beggar. He found the old man sitting in the same place, as if he had never moved. Doran fell to his knees. "Tell me how to break free. I have everything, yet I am shackled in fear. My gold is my master, not the other way around." The beggar nodded, unsurprised. "Greed is an endless hunger. The more you feed it, the more it consumes you." "Then how do I stop it?" Doran pleaded. The beggar met his gaze, his voice gentle yet firm. "Let go. Release what you hoard, and greed will release you in return." Doran hesitated. Could he truly let go? But he had no other choice. He returned home and began to give, not for indulgence, but for relief. He built homes for the homeless, supported scholars, and restored the town's crumbling bridges and roads. At first, fear clung to him, whispering that he was losing everything. But the more he gave, the lighter he felt. One morning, he noticed something strange. The gold had stopped multiplying. Shaken, Doran returned to the temple to find the beggar once more. "The magic has ended," he said. "Why?" The beggar smiled. "The coin's magic was never endless. It was a trap of your own making. The greedier you became, the deeper the trap. But once you let go of greed, the curse lifted." For the first time in years, Doran felt at peace. He stood outside his once imposing mansion, now a place of warmth and life. The endless gold had vanished, but in its place, he had found something far greater: freedom from greed.